If a lion cub was raised by a polar bear, a hypothetical tale of survival and family. In the wild, ecosystems often define the survival and behavior of animals, shaping their instincts, behaviors, and relationships. Lions, Panthera leo, and polar bears, Ursus maritimus, exist in entirely different worlds. One roams the hot, grassy savannas of Africa, while the other rules the freezing Arctic tundra. But what if the unthinkable happened? A lion cub, separated from its pride, was raised by a polar bear in the unforgiving Arctic? Would the lion cub adapt to its icy environment, learn survival skills from its adoptive mother, and even thrive? Let's explore this intriguing and emotional scenario in detail. 1. The unlikely beginning. Survival of the lion cub. Imagine a lion cub, just a few weeks old, somehow stranded far from its natural habitat and brought to the icy Arctic, whether through natural disaster, human intervention, or some fantastical turn of events. Alone and vulnerable, the cub would face near certain death. However, a polar bear mother, perhaps grieving the loss of her own cubs, stumbles upon the stranded lion cub. Instinctually, the polar bear might adopt the cub, driven by her maternal instincts to care for and protect the helpless creature. The bond of survival. Polar bears are solitary animals except when raising their cubs. A lion cub, though alien to this environment, would rely entirely on the bear for survival, food, warmth, and protection. The polar bear's maternal instincts might transcend species, as seen in rare cases where animals adopt or care for members of different species, such as dogs raising tiger cubs or even instances of lions adopting antelope calves. 2. Adaptation to the Arctic environment. The Arctic environment is one of the harshest places on Earth, defined by freezing temperatures, ice-covered landscapes, and limited food. A lion cub, born for warm climates, would face immense challenges in adapting. However, under the care of a polar bear, it might gradually adjust and even develop behaviors that mirror those of its adoptive parent. Physical challenges. Fur and insulation. Lions have short fur designed for hot climates, making them vulnerable to Arctic cold. The lion cub would initially rely on the polar bear's thick fur and body heat for warmth, snuggling close for survival. Over time, the cub might grow a thicker coat in response to the extreme cold, an example of nature's incredible adaptability. Paw adaptation. Polar bears have large, wide paws that act as snowshoes for walking on ice. The lion cub's smaller paws would struggle on icy terrain initially, but it could learn to tread carefully and use claws for traction. Behavioral adaptations. Hunting skills. As the cub grows, it would watch and learn how the polar bear hunts. Polar bears rely on patience and stealth, wading at seal-breathing holes or stalking prey on the ice. The lion cub, naturally built for speed and ambush, might adapt its predatory instincts to the Arctic environment, combining the two techniques. Diet. Lions are carnivores that typically hunt large herbivores like antelope or zebra, but in the Arctic, the cub would have to adjust to a polar bear's diet: seals, fish, and scavenged carcasses. Over time, it could develop a taste for fatty prey, crucial for survival in freezing conditions. 3. Developing the skills of a predator. A lion cub raised by a polar bear would learn through observation and imitation. Polar bears are intelligent, patient hunters who rely on their environment to succeed. The lion cub would learn essential Arctic survival skills from its adoptive mother. 1. Hunting seals. Polar bears hunt seals by waiting patiently at breathing holes in the ice. The lion cub, though not naturally suited to long periods of stillness, would learn the importance of patience and timing in hunting. It would also observe how polar bears use their powerful paws to pull seals from the water. 2. Swimming skills. Polar bears are excellent swimmers, capable of covering vast distances in search of food. Lions, though not naturally aquatic, can swim when necessary. Under the polar bear's guidance, the cub would learn to swim in freezing waters, using its developing strength to navigate short distances. 3. Navigating the Arctic. Surviving in the Arctic requires an understanding of the ice, snow, and hidden dangers. The lion cub would follow the polar bear across the ice, learning how to identify cracks, find prey, and avoid thin ice. It might even develop an improved sense of smell and hearing, essential for detecting seals under the snow. 4. Physical growth. Would the cub change? As the lion cub matures, its body would still be that of a lion, but adaptations to the Arctic environment could influence its physical traits. Thicker fur. Over generations, lions raised in cold climates might evolve a dense, shaggy coat similar to prehistoric cave lions. Larger size. A polar bear's diet, rich in fat, could lead the lion to grow larger and bulkier than its African relatives. Better equipped for conserving heat, enhanced strength, swimming, hunting seals, and traversing the Arctic terrain would develop the lion's muscles, making it more powerful and resilient. While the cub would still resemble a lion, it would begin to take on the habits and behaviors of a polar bear. 5. Interactions with other animals. Modern Arctic predators. The lion cub would encounter Arctic predators like wolves, Arctic foxes, and even other polar bears. Under the protection of its polar bear mother, the lion cub would remain relatively safe. As it matures, it could become a unique predator in its own right, filling a niche in the Arctic ecosystem. Conflict with humans. Humans pose the greatest threat to Arctic wildlife. A lion roaming the tundra would be a shocking sight, drawing attention from scientists and conservationists. The cub's existence could spark debates about ecosystems, adaptation, and the resilience of animals in changing climates. 6. The emotional bond, a unique relationship. At the heart of this hypothetical scenario is the extraordinary bond between the polar bear and the lion cub. Polar bears are fiercely protective of their young, and a lion cub adopted into this care would likely develop a strong attachment to its mother. The cub would follow the bear everywhere, mimicking her behaviors and depending on her for warmth, food, and survival. In turn, the polar bear might treat the lion as her own, grooming it, teaching it to hunt, and defending it against threats. This relationship would transcend species, showcasing the power of maternal instinct and survival. 7. Could a lion cub thrive in the Arctic? While this scenario is highly hypothetical, it demonstrates the incredible adaptability of animals. The lion cub, with the guidance of a polar bear, could learn to survive, though not without challenges. Over time, it might evolve traits to better suit its environment, becoming a unique predator that bridges the worlds of prehistoric strength and modern resilience. Conclusion: a tale of survival and adaptation. If a lion cub were raised by a polar bear, it would be a story of survival, adaptation, and the bonds that transcend species. The cub would learn the ways of the Arctic, blending its natural predatory instincts with the skills taught by its polar bear mother. Together, they would navigate the frozen wilderness, creating a powerful and awe-inspiring duo. This hypothetical scenario reminds us of nature's resilience, the adaptability of animals, and the unexpected bonds that can form in the wild. It's a story of survival against all odds, one that would captivate the imagination of people around the world. Thank you for watching Wild Diary Florence. If you enjoyed this unique exploration of what happens when a lion cub meets a polar bear, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts on whether this unlikely duo could survive and thrive. And stay tuned for more incredible wildlife adventures.